What is up, sexy beast? Crazy Rabbit here, and today we're going to be doing the top 10 best assault rifles in Call of Duty Zombies history, and this is strictly only going to be Treyarch Zombies. We're going to be looking at everything from World War to Black Ops 3, and in this list we have to at least include 2 assault rifles from every single game, excluding World War because there's really only 1 assault rifle, and the reason for that is just so that way this list isn't nothing but like Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 weapons. That would be kind of boring. And lastly, before we actually do get onto the video, I just want to say this is my list and my opinion. You might have a completely different list, which is totally fine. Everyone plays zombies differently. And man, was this list a bitch to put together. This was a very, very hard top 10 to actually put together because there's so many assault rifles, and there's a lot of really good ones too. So it was just very, very hard to decide what goes at number 5 or what goes at number 1 or what goes at number 3. It was a very tough list to put together, but I ultimately think I came down after crunching some numbers, doing some ghetto math, and ultimately learning how to read and actually reading up on some stats. I think I finally came down with a top 10 that I'm actually satisfied with, so let's go ahead and get on to number 10. Taking the number 10 spot is going to be the Commando, or an upgrade to the Predator. Now I love the Commando, not because it's good or anything, but because it looks pretty damn cool. I like how it has that little sling like wrapped around it, and when you actually upgrade it, it gets that sexy Black Ops 1 camo. So I definitely think the Commando is one of the best looking guns. It looks sexy as all hell. I kind of wish when you upgrade it, maybe you got like a red dot or something. But even without the red dot, it still looks absolutely amazing. And Black Ops 1, it's definitely one of the best weapons to have. Now when it comes to ammo, it actually carries a pretty decent amount compared to a lot of other Black Ops 1 weapons. When you actually upgrade this thing to the Predator, it's going to carry 40 in its magazine and 360 in stock, compared to its original 30 in its magazine and 270 in stock. So that's probably a reason a lot of people love the Commando, was because it carried a pretty decent amount of ammo, and it's actually really powerful. Now sadly, once you get to high rounds, similar to every other Black Ops 1 weapon, it ain't gonna do shit. But on early rounds, this is definitely a go-to weapon. It's powerful, it looks hella good, has a lot of ammo, it's got a pretty decent fire rate. Commando's alright in my book. Alright, and taking the number 9 spot is going to be the Black Ops 1 Galil. Now this was a tough decision which one deserved the number 10 and 9 spot, and I ultimately decided that I think the Galil belongs here just because it carries a little bit more ammo. So the Galil, or an upgrade to the Lamentation, and when you actually upgrade this thing, it does get a red dot. When you actually do upgrade this thing, it's going to carry 490 in stock and 35 in its magazine, which is a fuck ton of ammo compared to its original 35 in its magazine and 315 in stock. So the Galil, in my opinion, is probably one of the best weapons in Black Ops 1 just because it carries so much goddamn ammo. And it's also, I think, going to be a little bit stronger than the Commando. And when it comes to fire rate, I'm pretty sure they're almost about even. But when it comes to the reload speed, I think the Commando actually has it on that. It might be pretty interesting to compare the Commando and the Galil. I don't know. Would you guys like to see like the Commando versus the Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 1 Galil, or fuck it, Black Ops 2? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But the OG Black Ops 1 Galil was definitely one of my go-to weapons in zombies and in multiplayer. It's just a really good all-around weapon. It carries a fuck ton of ammo, does a pretty decent amount of damage, unfortunately. Like I said with every other Black Ops 1 weapon, on high rounds, you ain't going to be doing anything. But I would say this thing's going to last you up until like the 30s, maybe even 40s, depending on how lucky you are. But definitely once you get past that, the Galil is just going to turn into a toy and it's not going to do anything. But up until that point, the Galil is definitely probably the best weapon to have, other than just having like a wonder weapon. Alright, and taking the number 8 spot is going to be the World War STG. Did you guys really have to take a guess at which assault rifle from World War was going to be on here? Of course it was going to be the STG. It's the only goddamn one. The STG-44, or upgrade to the Spaz 447, is an alright gun in World War. It's definitely not the best. There's plenty of other better options, but it's a pretty decent one. And especially since it's a WAW weapon, you can constantly go back and get more and more ammo. I just recently did a comparison with this one and the Black Ops 3 version, so I'm really not going to talk about this one too much. If you guys want to know more about the STG, go ahead and click on that link right there on screen. It'll take you right to it. I go over the World War and the Black Ops 3 STG, compare them, and then take a look at both of them on round 50. So that's really all I have to say for the STG. Don't really want to be repeating myself because I just made a video about it, so go check that video out if you want to see it. Let's go ahead and get on to the next one. So taking the number 7 spot might be a weapon that's really overlooked, and I definitely think kind of forgettable, the Man of War, or an upgrade to the Dread Armada. This weapon's actually a pretty decent weapon. It's very powerful and it carries a lot of ammo. The only problem I have with it, and the reason I kind of shy away from it, is because of its fire rate. It doesn't really have that fast of a fire rate, and the way I play zombies, I definitely prefer faster fire rates. I would much rather have a faster fire rate than a weapon that can put out more damage. So that's why I really never use the Man of War, but I can't actually appreciate this weapon and realize how good it actually is. So when you actually fully upgrade this thing, it's going to carry 40 in its magazine and 440 in stock, compared to its original 30 in magazine and 360 in stock. And on round 50, this weapon will actually do some work. You'll actually be able to get a lot of kills. It's not going to be fast. I would kind of compare it to like the KSG. It's a powerful weapon, it does a lot of penetration power, You're not going to be getting kills quick, but over time you will definitely get a lot of kills. And from this point on, every other weapon on this list will actually do some work. Like the other 3 weapons really didn't do anything, but from here on out, weapons are actually going to start to do stuff on round 50, and the Man of War can definitely handle itself, so that's why I think it deserves the number 7 spot. Alright, and taking the number 6 spot is going to be the MX Grand, and yes, this technically counts as an assault rifle because that's what it's classified in the game, or an upgrade to the Ling Ping's Beast. God, that's kind of racist. I love this weapon. It's a very, very fun one to use, mainly just because when you reload that thing, you hear that little ping. I love that sound. Like, that's the only reason I ever used the Grand in World at War, was just to hear that sound. Wasn't that good in World at War, but goddamn, does that ping really, really satisfying. Like, I want to get one of these things in real life. I actually do plan on it after I get my PPSH and MP40. I really want an M1 Grand just so I can hear that ping in real life. I feel like it would be badass. But I'm not talking about that. Let's get on to this MX Grand. I love this thing. It carries a pretty decent amount of ammo. The only real problem I have with it is actually, like, you know, a truth about the gun. You can't reload it. You have to shoot all your ammo out before you can actually reload. But besides that minor detail and the fact that it's not on every single map and it's only on one really shitty map, I love the MX Grand. I think it's a beast. When you actually upgrade this thing to Ling Ping's Beast, it's going to carry 30 in its magazine, or I should say clip, and 300 in stock, compared to its original 8 in its clip and 160 in stock. So when upgraded, this weapon isn't really the greatest, but once you upgrade this thing, it turns into a beast. It's very, very powerful. On round 50, you're going to be able to do some work. I really wouldn't recommend using this thing on round 50. I really like this thing for like the 20s through 40s. That's when I think it shines. Like, there's a couple other weapons on this list that like really shine in like the teens, or that like really shine on round 50. I think the MX Grand is at its best when it's like 20s through 30s, maybe even 40s. That's when I love using this weapon, and that's when I would definitely recommend it. So that's why I put it at the number 6 spot. Alright, and taking the halfway point with the number 5 spot, it's going to be the AK-47, or an upgrade to the Reznov's Revenge. I really wish this weapon was in a lot more maps, or even in Black Ops 1 Zombies, because in Black Ops 1 multiplayer, this was my go-to weapon. So the AK-47 was originally higher on the list, but after going back and reviewing a lot of footage, and looking at ammo and overall stats, I kind of pushed it back a little bit. But saying that, this weapon is still really good on high rounds, and you're going to be able to get some kills. The only thing that I kind of have against it is its lack of ammo. A couple other weapons on this list are going to be WAW weapons, and you can constantly go back and get more ammo, and that's a really good plus that they have going for them. The Reznov's Revenge is not a WAW weapon, and it doesn't really carry that much ammo. It's only going to carry 30 in its magazine and 270 in stock, compared to its original 30 magazine and 240 in stock. So when you upgrade it, you get one more magazine. That's about it. It definitely does get stronger, but that's really about it. I wish you got a lot more when you actually upgraded this thing. In my opinion, this weapon shines in the teens and the early 20s. After that, you're just really not going to have any ammo to actually do some stuff, but hypothetically, you actually do carry this thing all the way to round 50. On round 50, you're going to be able to get some kills. This is a very, very powerful weapon, definitely one of the most powerful ones in Zombies, and I would say it's going to take you about almost a full magazine to actually start getting some kills, and once you start getting some kills, it triggers that snowball effect to where you're just going to get more and more, and then you're going to be out of ammo. So that's definitely why I think the AK-47 deserves the halfway mark. It's a great weapon, but man, is it really, really limited with the amount of ammo it actually holds. Alright, and taking the number 4 spot is going to be the Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 Galil, whichever one you do prefer. The Galil is definitely one of the most iconic and definitely one of the best weapons in Call of Duty Zombies history. How do I know? Every version of the Galil has been on this list, and it's been brought back so many goddamn times. The Galil is an amazing weapon, and one of the reasons I just think it's so amazing is because it's an assault rifle, it has a pretty decent fire rate, and it carries a lot of ammo, and it's pretty powerful. Usually with assault rifles, you trade off one for the other. You don't have that much ammo in the AK-47's case, or with the Man of War, you really don't have that fast of a fire rate. The Galil is like a perfect all-around weapon, and that's just what I love about it. So once you actually get this thing upgraded in Black Ops 2 and 3 to the Lamentation, it's going to carry 490 in stock and 35 in its magazine, which is definitely getting up there to some LMG type numbers. Now the Galil isn't the strongest weapon in Zombies, but on round 50, you're going to be able to get some kills, and in my opinion, I think the Galil shines in like the 30s. That's when I generally find myself using the Galil to its fullest, is around the 30s. You can use it earlier and you can use it later, it's still going to be badass, but I think it really does shine in the 30s, and that's why I think it deserves the number 4 spot. Alright, so now on to the top 3. Man, this top 3 was really, really fucking hard. I had to switch them around so many goddamn times. I had to go back, review so much footage, and I'm still not like 100% happy with this top 3. Like, I constantly doubt myself and think, oh no wait, this should be here. Oh no wait, I think that should be here. But I'm gonna go ahead and say fuck it and go with my gut, and taking the numero 3 spot is gonna be the AN-94. Now please don't hate me, I know this weapon is beloved by many, but let me do my best to explain why I put it at the number 3 spot. First, let's go over the pros. This thing carries a fuck ton of ammo. I think it carries like the most out of every single assault rifle. It's going to carry 600 in stock when you actually get this thing upgraded to the actuated neutralizer 94,000. That's 6 goddamn 100 shots. That's 100 plus more than the Galil, and I just gave the Galil a lot of props for carrying a lot of ammo. And in its magazine, it's going to carry 50. Now, the unupgraded version carries a fuck ton of ammo. The unupgraded version carries more ammo than a lot of upgraded weapons. It's going to carry 30 in its magazine and 300 in stock, unupgraded. And plus, this thing's a wall weapon on some maps. This thing, you can constantly go back and get more and more ammo. Now, really, the only downside to the AN-94 is, one, it's not the most powerful weapon. It's kind of weak compared to a lot of other weapons on this list, and it doesn't have the world's fastest fire rate. Now, like I said previously in this video, I love weapons with fast fire rates. They're just my kink. They get me off at night. And unfortunately, the AN-94 does not have a fast fire rate. Now, in multiplayer, I loved using this weapon, even though I was more of a fan of the FAL. I think I probably had like literally 5 times more kills with the FAL, but every now and then I would use the AN-94, and it was a beast in multiplayer as well, but in zombies, I just really never found myself going after it. I will admit that it's an amazing weapon, and that's why it's at number 3. It's just not my preferred weapon, and it's just not my go-to one, but it definitely does deserve to be in the top 3 spot because it's pretty badass. Alright, here we go, on to the top 2. What goes where? I went back and forth with these two weapons so many times, and I ultimately decided that the Scar H Orban upgrade to the Argarthian Reaper deserves the number 2 spot. Now, this is one of the most powerful assault rifles we actually do have in zombies, and its fire rate is going to be right on par with the AN-94. Now, it's not going to carry AN-94 ammo numbers. It's only going to carry 40 in its magazine and 440 in stock when you actually upgrade it, compared to its original 30 in the magazine and 270 in stock. So when it comes to ammo, the AN-94 definitely has a beat, but when it comes to damage, you got to give it to the Scar H. On round 50, the Scar H is definitely going to be able to take out a lot of zombies. It's not going to be as quick as the number 1 spot, but you definitely over time will be getting a lot of kills. I love the Scar H, not going to lie. There's a little nostalgia in there from Modern Warfare 2. That's probably why I decided to put it at number 2. I'm not going to lie. I love this weapon. It's a fun weapon to use. I think it's very, very powerful, and I think it's really, really good. I definitely do prefer it to a lot of other weapons on this list, and again, that's just my opinion. And even if you think some other weapon should be at the number 2 spot, look how good this thing's doing on round 50. It's tearing some ass, and that's why I put it at the numero 2 spot. It's a badass weapon. If only it was a wall weapon, it probably would have been number 1. Alright, so taking the numero 1 spot is going to be the ICR, or an upgrade to the Illuminated Demonator. This weapon is not as powerful as the Scar H. It's a little itty bit weaker, and it doesn't carry as much ammo, but it has a faster fire rate, and it's a wall weapon. And that's why I decided to put the ICR at number 1, because on some maps you actually can get it off the wall. Now, when you actually upgrade this thing to the Illuminated Demonator, it's going to carry 45 in its magazine and 360 in stock, so it doesn't carry that much ammo as a lot of other weapons on this list, but it carries a fairly decent amount compared to its original 30 in its magazine and 210 in stock. So when it comes to ammo, it's pretty average, nothing too special. When it comes to damage, it's definitely one of the more powerful weapons. It's not as powerful as the Scar H, like I previously stated. It's just a little bit behind, but having the ability to go back and constantly get more and more ammo off the wall really makes this a fantastic weapon, and plus you have the ability to add more and more attachments, but I try not to consider that for these top 10 lists because not every single gun has attachments. But on round 50, with this thing's fast fire rate, ability to go back and get more and more ammo, and its pretty decent amount of damage, it's going to be able to take out a lot of zombies, and this is an all-around perfect weapon. You need something to kick some ass and gain you some points on early rounds, this thing will do. You need something to tear some ass 20s to 30s, this thing will do. You need something to get you some kills on high rounds, this thing will do. The ICR can kick some ass no matter what round you actually need it on. It's up for the task, and that's why I put it at the number 1 spot. So that has been my top 10 best assault rifles in Call of Duty Zombies history. Like I previously stated at the beginning of this footage, you might have a completely different list, which is totally fine. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think should have went where. Fuck it, just say, hey, this is my top 10, and then proceed to list your top 10. Everyone plays zombies differently, and everyone's going to have a different list, which is totally acceptable. So real quick, I want to say shout out to my Patreon supporters. They help make these videos possible, and they're also just sexy as hell. If you do not know what Patreon is, I highly recommend you go check it out. Link will be in the description. You get a bunch of cool stuff. You get videos early, extra content, your name at the end of my video, the name on my head, whichever one you prefer, and a bunch more stuff. So if you want to help support me in a more personal way, go ahead and check out Patreon. A link will be in the description. And lastly, go follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. All those links will also be in the description. It's a lot easier to come in contact with me on those than actual YouTube comments because I get so many on YouTube. So if you want to come in contact with me, those are your best bets. And lastly, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.